What's up, everyone? Hope you're having a great night. I'm your host, College Sports Survived, and I welcome you back to the College Hoops 2K Legacy Mode series featuring Coach Carter and his Fordham Rams roster. Season 3 has been a surprise to many. If you told me we'd be in March at the beginning of the year, I would have thought you were crazy, but against all odds, Fordham has made their first NCAA tournament berth since 1991 when they were a member of the Patriot League Conference. As this is a brand new stage for Fordham basketball, it's all thanks to Coach Carter, but the only problem is our opponent in the first round is no stranger to the big dance, as it's Coach Carter against Tom Izzo today, a man who's no stranger to the first round and success this time of year. This is Coach Carter's fourth appearance in March throughout this entire series, UT Martin included, but that pales in comparison to Tom Izzo's 8 Final Four appearances. The winner of this game will face the winner of North Carolina and Sac State, the 1 versus 16 game in our bracket, as we take a peek at this loaded West region we find ourselves in. Most experts have been calling this the toughest region in the tournament, and I can definitely see the argument. UNC has made their case to be the best team in the field, and we've seen plenty of Charlotte and how deadly they can be, and Georgia Tech has won 2 titles in this series in the past, and they're only a 5. Crazy depth in this bracket. But before we get ahead of ourselves though, we gotta stay focused on the round of 64 before we get caught up in the future. Tom Izzo and Michigan State, they're the task at hand and a very tough team to try to outperform in this time of year. Sparty was a pretty competitive team in a Big Ten conference that was a little bit weaker than usual this season. 6 teams did go dancing, but the conference lacked a standout club as the 7th seeded Illinois team was the highest seeded unit this March. The Spartans' path to March, it followed a pretty similar script to our Fordham Rams. They were a 19-12 bubble team, but coasted through the conference bracket, falling to Michigan in the title game, just like how we did. We fell to Xavier in our title game, and that gave the committee just enough reason to put us in here. But no doubt after their Big Ten tournament run, Izzo had his puppies in order, as the legend Bill Rafferty would say, and they are ready for the NCAA tournament per usual. This matchup has me concerned due to one culprit. It's Sparty's physicality and big man productivity. Ahmad Mathis and Darnell Abrams post similar stats. They can block shots, they bang you for putbacks, and they were a big reason why Sparty led the Big Ten with 29.2 rebounds a night. If you watch the A-10 title game that we lost against Xavier, we fell to them because our paint defense was non-existent against a team known for their perimeter skills. Can we toughen up against this rugged Michigan State team? That's the main reason why most experts are taking the Spartans in this 8-9 matchup. The injury report shows one starter who won't play for the Spartans. Rylan Massey, their starting point man, can't suit up tonight, so it's an eye for an eye as our 6-man point guard continues to rehab his ankle injury. However, some good news before we hit the floor. Your Rams are getting some much needed muscle back for the tournament. Sophomore big man Chen Lee, who hasn't played in a month and a half, will be suiting up tonight. And he broke his ankle back in February, but he's finally cleared to play. If there was ever a time we needed a front court punch, the time is now. Alright guys, we're ready. Coach Carter wraps up his coveted pregame speeches and is about to lead his troops out to the hardwood floor as Fordham plays tournament ball for the first time since joining the A-10 in '92 and seeks their first victory march since 1970. So many memorable seniors are playing to keep their careers alive. Swanson, Murphy, Higgins, all fighting to play one more day. The round of 64 is coming at you. Let's tip it off from Dayton. Here we go, boys. Welcome to a gym that you should be familiar with. Fordham will play their first March Madness game in over 30 years in a conference rivals building. The U of Dayton Arena will host the first 2 rounds of our region, and it's great to see the Fordham faithful making the drive from New York City. Plenty of maroon in those seats up above. The main storylines today will revolve around 2 things. Will Fordham play tough enough inside to compete with the Spartans? And will Coach Carter be able to outmaneuver Tom Izzo on the sidelines, who seeks his 54th NCAA tournament victory lifetime? Pink Collar's ready. Nick Barrett's ready. From Dayton, Ohio, Season 3's March Madness has begun! As Fordham will earn the first rights to the basketball today in their first March Madness game since 1991. I cannot even imagine what's going through the head of those kids down there, but Kai Hendry will relax things a bit, get it to our best offensive player to begin things. Why not have Preston Murphy taking the first shot of the game as he draws the foul. Great take baseline. Preston Murphy, 16 points per game, one of our 5 seniors on the roster. 3rd in the conference he finished in scoring, and the Paterson, New Jersey native will knock down 2 free throws to put us ahead and give Fordham the first lead of the contest. That is a Fordham offense that averages 67 points per game. That's good for top 4 in the Atlantic 10 this year. Gotta love the progression that we've made on that side of the floor in Coach Carter's tenure here. So a minute off the clock, we see Ray Dillard, who fills in for his fallen point guard teammate Rylan Massey, the senior, who leads this team in assists and steals. Will not be playing today, but Bennett Pinkala, access denied. Higgins out on the break, and he absorbs the bump from Nick Barrett and one of Angelo Higgins. Already 2 personals on Nick Barrett, but that will bring in a pretty talented player in his own right. Darnell Abrams will check in, and that's Sparty's 2nd leading scorer on the season. So let's see if Michigan State can turn things around. Almost a turnover there as Ray Dillard, who is the starting point guard for today, it delivers an assist to Sean Dixon, who is one of Michigan State's better 3-point threats, as Dillard then takes it away on the press. Dixon then trying to make it 2 baskets in a row, no avail, and then leaving it short is Darnell Abrams. But that's something that Fordham will not get away with many times today. Gotta take care of the ball as Michigan State likes to press. Dixon with the lane, and somehow he makes this one. Dixon with 5 points. Michigan State will kill us inside if we defend the paint like we did against Xavier. And no excuses for this one. Kai Hendry already 3 turnovers in 3.5 minutes. The freshman looking a little bit overwhelmed here in his first March Madness ever appearance. So after the 4-0 start, now Fordham on the wrong side of a 10-2 run as Pinkala nearly turns it over as the double comes, but Higgins takes the pass and he will deliver a huge 3. 10-9 game now here in the round of 64. Higgins with 7 out of our first 9 points. I think another question will be, can we get enough offense out of players not named Preston Murphy? Well, if this start for Higgins is any consolation, I think he's answering the question here early. Higgins, backdoor off a Corey Terrell screen, who now checks in. Another and one in the opening minutes as Higgins has a chance to get into double digits already. How about this? Evo Higgins, what a start he has. 10 out of our first 12. Did not expect this from our boy, but he averages 11.5 points per game. A bucket can already eclipse that total on his senior year. Speaking of seniors, this is a very potent senior class that's trying to win one tournament game before they hang it up, as some reserves check in, including Chen Li, who hasn't played since February 3rd, but he beats the press. Nice pass there by Milos Filipovic, who also checks in. And Chen Li with his first basket since the beginning of February. What a play there, what a statement. Let's see if he can provide a spark for us. As Chen Li, the 6'9" sophomore out of China, tries to set a pick for Hendry, who turns it over yet again. Banked in off the glass by Kinlow. 5:49 left to go in the first, and yet still Fordham having trouble hanging on to the basketball. No reason why I should be giving the ball away this much in this early in the game. It's actually Michigan State who struggles to hold on to the rock. They average 12.3 giveaways a game, which is first in the Big Ten in this season. As Darnell Abrams tries to muscle his way past Chen Li, he plays tough in there, but crashing the glass weak side is Ahmad Mathis, who still hadn't scored until that putback. So their leading scorer, rebounder, and shot blocker missing from the high post there as he still tries to get things going. Hendry now has the mismatch we want. See if we can clear it out for him maybe against Mathis. No, he'll give it up to Higgins. Jab step, pump fake. Tries to go baseline. Instead, he'll give it off to Fabian Swanson as the baseline was cut off. Great decision there. Fabian Swanson, the 3rd of our senior starters. He now gets on the board to go along with his fellow senior teammates Murphy and Higgins. All 3 players average at least 11 points per game. Honestly though, so far, if you like defense, you've come to the right place. Tied up 25-25, Dearman for three. It kicks off the rim right into the hands of Higgins, who gave it a shot, had his boy Murphy deep for a second, but it's stolen by Dearman, and now Kai Hendry with a bad foul there. The 6'8" freshman guard, Tavon Kinlaw, who they're very excited for, a 78 overall first-year player with a tough three-point play. You just gotta let him go when he's that deep in. So 28-25. Now let's see if we can break this press. It hasn't really been the press that's given us most issue. It's been in the half court we've been turning the ball over, but Murphy, there we go. Nice touch there as Benkala playing tough there full court. He can't get the steal though. So Murphy's struggling a little bit, but definitely needed that basket. We cut it to one, and we're going to keep the ball in the hands of the hottest player of the first half. 6 seconds left. One-on-one. He's had this guy's number all first half long, but the double comes. We throw it inside of Benkala, who can't take the lead as the buzzer expires. 28-27. Michigan State out in front, but Fordham turning some heads though. I don't think many experts called this game to be this close, but that's why they're on the sideline. The Rams with plenty of people on notice, but plenty of confidence too. But there are definitely some things to clean up to pull off this upset. First and foremost, it's the turnovers that's been killing us. Kai Hendry having a nightmare March debut. 5 turnovers, no assists for the freshman 4-star recruits. Yeah, that's rough, and this is where not having Dustin Black hurts us. Speaking of which, we got to get more aggressive, forcing mistakes as well. MSU only has 2 giveaways despite leading the Big Ten in that category. Lastly, Murphy's got to start sinking some shots. He's had open looks, but he's 1 for 6, still getting out the butterflies. Some positives though, check out Higgins, who's having his one-shotting moment as the hometown kid has scored 12 to lead everybody today. Swanson and Benkala have played very tough down low. That was one thing we put into question whenever we looked at the matchup. A lot more resistance this time around compared to the Xavier game last episode. And how about Chen Li with a spark there? Could you tell he was dying to get back on the court? Like most 8-9 games in the tournament, this one's up for grabs. We'll see if Coach Carter can outduel Tom Izzo down the stretch to bring home the program's first victory in March in over 50 years. Round of 64 action, ready to get back underway. Michigan State with the possession and a 1-point lead in this 8-9 game of the West region. Kicked around, Sean Dixon for 3, who hit Michigan State's only 2 threes of the first half, but this one's off the mark. Preston Murphy collects and will give it off to Kai Hendry, who's trying to bounce back after his 5-turnover first half. 14:35 to go. Evangelo Higgins will pick up right where he left off. 14 on the game for the Bronx, New York native. It's been the hometown kid who's been in the spotlight tonight. All year long, we've raved about Preston Murphy's ability to go on fire, but now it's Evo Higgins trying to tell you that he can do the same. He's got the same spurt ability, and he's got about half of our points in our first March Madness game since 1991. Ahmad Mathis also looks to get it going. Kinlaw with his second dime, and I believe that's only Mathis's fifth and sixth point, and yes, it is. Surprised to see him not on the scoreboard more. He's Michigan State's top scorer, rebounder, and block man on the year. Preston Murphy falls to 1 for 7, though. Good defense there on the baseline, though. Michigan State has had an answer for everything he's done, as Sean Dixon was Michigan State's leading scorer in the first half. Now he's got 12. That matchup at small forward has been the one that everyone's had their eyes on. Dixon against Higgins. Who will come out on top? Well, it's Dixon Spartans who are up by 5 now, but a nice bounce pass there. Nice comeback set up there by Kai Hendry, who struggled to keep his hands on the basketball today, but that was a nice dime to Bennett Benkala, who's 1 free throw. Still a 5-point game as now Mathis scores 2 more from the line. And only about 11 minutes to go here in the round of 64. Murphy has his lane cut off. We'll set it up with Kai Hendry. We see Corey Terrell checking in. Little handoff to Fabian Swanson. Nothing fancy, but I like the backdoor feed there. Swanson now gets in double figures. The 2 hometown kids, the 2 kids from the Bronx on the roster, Higgins and Swanson, leading us in points. It's almost poetic, really, as we cut this lead back down to 2. Dearman, though, for 3. That is Andrew Dearman, who helps Michigan State overcome their pretty tough shooting performance. Both teams have given each other a lot to handle on that end. Like I said in the first half, if you like defense, this was the place to be in the first 15 minutes, but now we're starting to pick things up a little bit, scoring-wise. Another backdoor cut. This time it's Swanson going to Murphy. A little inverted backdoor feed. Normally you see the guard hitting the big. Nah. How about Fabian showing off the vision now as he tries to help get our top scorer on the year going? Preston Murphy desperately needed that one, and now he'll head to the line for an easy look. It's always at the free throw line you see the best scorers get it back going again whenever they're struggling. We'll take it down to under 7 minutes to go. It's getting intense now. 4-point game. Kicked around to Higgins as Michigan State goes into a zone. Hendry needs this one, but he falls to 0 for 5 shooting to go along with his bucket full of turnovers, man. Kaya Hendry, we need you to do something, my man. Sean Dixon now against KJ Bigsby. This is not the matchup you want, or is it? Bigsby coming off the bench to grab a steal off of Michigan State's top scorer on the day. And now it's Higgins who will score 2 more. But with 67 energy, doing a lot of production for us today. He is exhausted. We need to get him a breather as we're just back on the doorstep though. And of course, with Fordham being very thin, KJ Bigsby had to come in amongst other guys along with Miles Filipovic, but they played quality minutes to at least keep us afloat. And now checking in for Higgins is Preston Murphy, so at least that is some good news. We swap out our top scorer on the season for our top scorer on the day. 6:14 on the ball game left. Ray Dillard, who's played well in relief of a fallen teammates at the point guard spot, will give this one away though. KJ Bigsby with back-to-back steals, throwing up the touch pass. It is Preston Murphy finishing it off, and we tie the game back up in style. 6 minutes to go. Murphy with 11. Let's go. Come on, Fordham. We're rallying behind this team. The Fordham faithful who made the drive out to Dayton. They want to see a win. 5 minutes to go. First March Madness victory in program history in 50 years is on the line, but Darnell Abrams just way too quick for Corey Terrell. I don't like that matchup. Nice finish with his offhand. I'm not mad at all, though, at that play. Our defensive resistance in the painted area has been much improved from the Xavier game. Under 5 to play, though, and Murphy wants another tie game. Great stop-and-go move with the baby cross. His bag of tricks just runs so deep. Even talented defenders like freshman Tavon Kinlaw don't know what to expect, like on that play. About a minute later, Kaya Hendry looking to improve on his day. He needs a big shot to get it going, but he misses yet another one. But KJ Bigsby had it for a moment, but Kinlaw rips it clean. It is Bruce on the take to the cup. Jacob Bruce with a huge dunk. And under 4 to go, we're going to take a break here. March Madness action, it's getting good here. The 8 versus 9 game, anyone's ball game. We'll be back after this. 3:53 left to go. Fordham with the basketball, and we're looking for yet another tie in this game. Bennett Pincala draws a double, trying to play some hot potato against this MSU zone. Sparty with plenty of length, plenty of speed, making it hard for us to operate, but Higgins wants the lead. He's been excellent today, but it's Pincala on the glass, and the follow is good off the glass. Bennett Pincala with his first field goal, but he's been blocking shots, playing tough inside, and rebounded well. Open for 3 though. It's Sean Dixon, who's been probably the only legit threat from 3 that Michigan State's had so far today. 3:12 left to go. Murphy will try to back down his man, but it's 6'8". Tavon Kinlaw will be able to shake him. Let's find out. No, he wants to pick and roll. Deflected. Kick out. Higgins with the tie. What a shot for 20 points. Evangelo Higgins with his second tray ball on the night. What a way to take us into our next TV timeout. 2:54 left to go. Don't go anywhere, folks. Fordham is on the cusp of a March Madness win. 3 senior starters who have meant so much to us in this series, fighting to keep their careers alive as we take things down to 1:20 left to go here in the second half. Murphy cut off baseline. Hendry with a foot on the line. He misses yet again. Kaya Hendry with a forgettable appearance in March, but he's got to keep firing when he's open. He's been one of our best three-point shooters all year long. 60 seconds to play now. Tavon Kinlaw trying to muscle his way inside. The help comes, and it's a beautiful dish to who else other than Donnell Abrams, or rather that's actually Mathis, who's had 8 of his 12 here in the second half. And it's thrown away by Evangelo Higgins. His 4th turnover. It's yet another giveaway from a Fordham team who struggled with this in the Xavier loss as well. And now these Spartans have a chance of really ticking this clock down and making it hard for us to operate. If there's a 13-second difference between the two clocks, we need to stop here and we'll have maybe 13 seconds in a perfect world to operate. 8 seconds to shoot. Dillard, the backup, looks for a teammate. 4 seconds, in and out. It's stolen! Murphy comes from behind and rips it from the Michigan State point guard. Higgins with 10 seconds to go. One-on-one against their best defender. The double cross gets him into the lane. He ties it! Evangelo Higgins with 23. Mathis costs timeout in the front court, but Higgins keeps Fordham alive for one more play. Oh my goodness, this is March. We've seen this his entire career. Higgins' long strides just being too much for on-ball defenders to stay in front of, and he does it yet again. 23 on the night for the hometown kid. Kinlaw did everything right up until he stopped moving his feet to try to reach there. It got him on the second cross. Higgins ties it at 60 apiece, but Michigan State still has a second and some change. Try to get up a shot and avoid overtime. The 8 versus 9 matchup here in the West has come down to one shot. Nick Barrett's the inbounder. The baseline is open. Swanson trying to close out on Dixon. It's long. And we'll be going to overtime. What a heads-up play there by Fabian Swanson, who must have heard somebody say that Higgins got clotheslined by a screen, and he had the mental IQ to pick up his man despite not even looking at the play. What a heads-up, high IQ, awareness-filled play there by Swanson. 60 apiece, fresh 5 minutes on the clock. We'll see if Fordham can come out unscathed. What else will this season have in store for us other than an overtime game here in the round of 64? Fordham again gets the basketball first. Here we go with Kai Hendry, cut off by Dillard as Michigan State goes back into man. Goes inside, nice bounce pass, kick out, Higgins' foot on the line, no problem. A nice assist there by Fabian, 25 on the night for Evo Higgins. He's having a Preston Murphy caliber day in this one, and that is some very high praise. 3 minutes to go now. Swanson one-on-one with Nick Barrett. He's trying to back him down. He goes with the left. It's no good, but flying in. It's Bennett Pinkala, who again is in the right place at the right time. He continues to do the little things all game long. He continues here in overtime. Fordham with the lead. 3 minutes to go. We'll see if they can hold on. We'll be back in a sec. Are you guys still with me? Heart rate racing a little bit? Yeah, trust me. Up here it's racing as well, but some big stops here could really go a long way. Kinlaw's tough to guard when he gets downhill, but he delivers a feed inside to Ahmad Mathis, who puts Fabian on a poster. Not often you see Swanson not able to at least contest there, but Mathis just living above the rim there. When you play guys from the Big Ten, some of these guys are just way too athletic. Murphy, though, for the tie! I wasn't even ready for it. Another huge perimeter J for the Fordham Rams gives them the lead. 69-68, Fordham on top. We're going to keep it right here. Inbound. Here we go. 1:25 to go. Michigan State really shying away from the perimeter here in overtime. They go inside again, but it's Swanson who stops the Ahmad Mathis take, and it's the entire team who rally to get that rebound, but it's Bennett Pinkala who grabs his 9th board. Great teamwork inside there on the defensive end. If you like defense, man, you're liking this game from Fordham. A minute to go in the game now. As Fordham, their 6-man meter resets. They're going to have to try to get a bucket without that attribute boost. 6 seconds to go. Higgins with the pass inside. It's Pinkala with the roll. Nicely done on the finger roll finish. 7 points. All of them have come into big points in the game. So here we go. Come on now. Another stop. And we can think about finally taking this game. It's Ray Dillard. Over to Nick Barrett. Sean Dixon hasn't seen the ball as much here in overtime. Bit of a head-scratching move. Dillard with a bad look there, but Mathis, no! Blocked! Picked up by Evangelo Higgins. And Michigan State will begin to foul. They will send Evo Higgins to the line as we immediately jump into the bonus. 23 seconds left as Higgins, who's been red hot all day, will try to get it done from the line. The first one is good. Higgins in the low 70s, 73% on his senior year from the charity stripe. He needs one more to make it a 5-point game. But hey, he still made it 2 possessions already. This one's off the left iron, but it's a 2-score game at least. So good job, Evo, for at least doing that for us. 16 to go. Dillard turns and fires off the left iron. Nick Barrett, though, gets it back for the Spartans and keeps them alive as Sean Dixon drops it in from the short corner. 19 points as our team captain, Preston Murphy, would get fouled, and the Patterson native will toe the line. 8 seconds to go. 1-1. The first one is always the toughest when the legs are a little tired. He got it. Preston Murphy got it. Our leading free throw maker on the team in terms of percentage, 78.7%. He needs one more to push the 2 possessions. It's off. It rimmed out. Here we go with Dixon to Dillard. Kinlaw back to Dillard. It's the tie, and he got it. What a shot by Ray Dillard. No, he didn't. No time to get off a shot. Second overtime is in the cards. I cannot believe Ray Dillard just knocked that through. Oh my goodness, ice in the back of point guard's veins. I know he's been struggling from 3 today. He was 0 for 3 up to that point, but this one was right on the money. Often plenty of time, and Michigan State lives to breathe another 5 minutes. 75-73. Tom Izzo versus Coach Carter. Marquee game here in the series. This could be a signature win for the main man, Coach Carter. We're trying to set up Higgins there on a flare screen. Instead, we're going to have to improvise. They shut it down. Swanson tries to outmuscle. Nick Barrett draws the foul, and he finishes with the inside hand. And one for Fabian Swanson, with a chance to go up with under 4 to play. How many lead changes will it take today? Swanson from the line. He had a huge second half, and he's coming up even bigger in overtime here. 4 minutes to play as they break the press here. Michigan State doing a good job protecting that ball, going backdoor. It's Sean Dixon, who is close to breaking 20 on the game. That might actually give it. Yep, that will give him 21 total. So him and Higgins continue to go back and forth. Michigan State had that little run there where they kept giving away the ball in the clutch, but outside of that, we've not been able to muscle it away from their grasp. Pick and roll between the 2 freshmen, Hendry and Pincala. It's closed down upon, but instead it's a great read by Kai Hendry. He finds Higgins in the short corner instead of forcing a pass to Pincala. Great read there as we will head to another break in the action. 79-78. We'll be back in 1 sec. Michigan State now retakes the lead and has the ball. Fordham now in the double bonus though, so one more team foul for Michigan State. We'll be shooting 2 free throws from here on out that could come very important later on. 2:25 to go. Dixon just off the mark. Higgins was a little slow in the closeout, but now he's got a head full of steam. Up high and down hard for Evangelo Higgins, who continues to score in new ways every time he touches the ball. And now a turnover by Preston Murphy forced. So Michigan State all game long protecting the basketball, except when it matters most. It's yet another turnover in the clutch of this game. Here we go. Murphy to Hendry. The freshman really needs something to go his way here. 0 for 6, 5 turnovers, a couple of nice assists though. But we'll keep it in the hands of Murphy. He looks for some assistance. Higgins in the corner, 5 to shoot. Fordham's got to hurry. Wasted possession. Swanson for 3. He got it. Fabian Swanson with 18. He's knocking down his 6th tray ball of his senior year. His jump shooting hasn't played as much of a predominant role in his game as it did in his junior year, but he can still hit those every once in a while. It's a 4-point game in Fordham's favor. Here we go with Sean Dixon. Bounce pass. Kinlaw trying to drive. He's been inefficient today, but he's found his teammates well, and he'll find another one. It's off but it's Nick Barrett on the tip-in. 83-81 cuts the lead in half. Michigan State desperately needed that one. Swanson, the lane's cut off there. Good heads-up rotation by Mathis. So we'll just reset it. Can we trust Kai Hendry in the clutch? He's been great all year for us when the game is on the line, but with the way he's played today, we're keeping it away from him. But instead it's Preston Murphy against this tough Tavon Kinlaw. He will get cut off. Bounce pass, Higgins, open. It rims out. Oh my goodness, all of his shots have been right on line. Even that one was. But he can't make it a 2-score game. Ray Dillard controlling the troops. It's less than a second difference between the two clocks, so this might be the last chance today for Michigan State once again. They did it in OT. This was the hero just 5 minutes ago, looking for another one. 12 seconds. Dixon. He's inside the arc. And we're going to foul quick. This is a smart play by Coach Carter, instructing his team to foul with some fouls to give to cut down this time a little bit. Only 9.4 seconds to operate with now. Nick Barrett looks for a teammate. It's Sean Dixon from the elbow, and he ties it. 7.3 to go, though. We can get it up the court quick. Kai Hendry, he's trapped to Murphy, to Swanson. He's got the lane, and it's chest shorts. No, another overtime is coming at you. It was a good look. We broke the press yet again. And Swanson had a chance to be a hero, but that's a tough guy to challenge inside. Ahmad Mathis averaging 1.2 blocks a contest. And Pinkala might have had a better look inside, but whenever you're going that fast and the clock's winding down, it's hard to think that critically. 83-83, triple overtime. The first time on the channel we're playing a triple overtime thriller. And we begin it with Darnell Abrams making a jump shot from the short corner and absorbing the bump for the three-point play. Can't foul a jump shooter, Fabian Swanson. That's one of the golden rules of defense. Michigan State, 6-point lead as Ahmad Mathis. He'll come back in after getting a blow to begin the third overtime. 3:42 on the game clock. First round. This has been prime March Madness activity here today from Dayton, Ohio. The round of 64 never disappoints. Sean Dixon, no good. Kinlaw battles inside, though, for the offensive putback. It'll be 13 points for Kinlaw, only 35% from the game, but he's found his teammates. He's got 5 assists, and it's a huge bucket as it's a turnover. Ray Dillard with a heads-up play. Fabian Swanson has no business dribbling that high up. A guard's got to get it from him. Sean Dixon extends it to a 5-point game. Timeout, Coach Carter. Oh my goodness, this is the biggest lead from either team in either overtime period. Is Fordham running out of gas? We're going to find out when we come back. There's one thing you can count on for Coach Carter, it's to light a fire in situations like this when it looks dim. They get a bucket, so now it's 90-87 here in the triple overtime period. 2:35 left to go, about half the overtime off the clock. Kinlaw kick out. Dixon again will try a three. And one of Michigan State's few three-point threats has gone cold here in the third overtime period, and thank goodness for that, because he has been close to ending the game on numerous occasions. Bounce pass. Higgins wants the tie. Oh, now our star player can't knock it down. 2:10 on the clock, and it's yet another turnover. The pace of this game speeding up. Kick out. Higgins. But we will take our time with it. A smart move there as Hendry finds a lane. Finally, the freshman point guard gets something positive to go his way. Cutting it to 1. 1 for 7 shooting, but it doesn't matter, man. As long as you step up when your name is called, it doesn't matter what you've done the past however many minutes. And that's what you see there from Kai Hendry. 89-92. 3 to tie. 2 to cut it to 1. 60 seconds on the game clock. Higgins in close quarters. Really tough layup, but the tireless scorer gets it done again somehow. 34 points. Higgins have a day. Career high that just continues to climb, but now we need to stop from our star player today. Higgins will stay in the path of Sean Dixon, making him work hard for his looks. Dixon, baseline, cut off yet again. Ray Dillard, don't let him have a clean look at it. That's exactly where he hit the game-winning shot earlier, rather the game-tying shot. But now Kai Hendry with a bad reach in there. We had a chance to just play defense with the difference in the shot clocks, but now the foul resets the shot clock, and it's only a 3-second difference now. We can still play for the stop, but this is going to be tough because even if we get that stop, we might only have 3.5, 4 seconds max to go the full distance. It's a 1-point game, 24 seconds left. Coach Carter's not going to foul. He's going to let this one tick down. 18 seconds left. Ray Dillard looking for our teammates. It might be smarter to foul here. It would only be a 3-point game if they make these free throws, but instead we want to play for the stop. 5 to go. Dixon, Mathis, bounce pass. It's Barrett. Blocked! It's blocked by Fabian Swanson. But only 2.4 seconds to go. It's going to be tough to get it up the court in time, but we'll see if Fordham can draw up something with one last chance here in triple overtime. Who will they go with? Higgins with 34, Preston Murphy's been heating up, or Kai Hendry, somebody that they would not expect with how up and down his game has been today. Let's find out. One more opportunity to keep this game alive. 92, 91, we need a miracle. We've been here before. 2.4 ticks left. The inbound will go to Preston Murphy with a running start. Clock ticking down. 1 second left. Murphy to advance to the round of 32. And it's too strong. Murphy misses. Fordham comes up short. What an instant classic that we couldn't pull out. Sean Dixon's your player of the game, although he was very quiet in those overtime periods. 92-91. With all of the close games we've won this year, and honestly, with all the thrillers we've won in the history of this channel, I think it was about time that we came up short in one. But hey, Coach Carter, I'm sure, is more than happy with his boys' performance today, especially those 3 seniors. In their last college games, Murphy scored 21, Higgins dropped 34, and Fabian Swanson to 18 and 2 steals to all leave off their careers on a high note, with Corey Terrell grabbing 4 rebounds as he plays his last college game as well. 5 seniors, along with Chris Smith, a reserve off the bench. 5 seniors who have had a huge impact in this series, who unfortunately will no longer be sporting these Fordham treads, but at the end of the day, this was a hard-fought loss. We should have won this game, but whenever you lose a game like this, you can't get caught up in that stuff. You just got to be happy with the fact that we played our tails off and we had one of the best teams in the country on the ropes. And Tom Izzo, we almost had him going home early. And that's something I haven't seen very much in my lifetime watching college basketball. I think the only time I can name it was like 2016 when they lost to MTSU. So, yep, this one stings. Obviously, you don't feel any better about it, but we're going to have to swallow our pride and move forward as Higgins, Swanson, and Murphy all played their last game. See, Tennessee Martin has now made their first March Madness appearance since Coach Carter left 3 years ago. And in brighter news, they do hang with Kansas for a little bit of that game, but they fall 65-49 as Brian Gill, the one senior on this team, is our final player that we actually coached in the Coach Carter series whenever we were at UT Martin. He was a freshman on the team that made the Sweet 16, and now he's won a lot in his career as he makes it back once again. But Brian Gill graduating means that we have no more players that we coached on UT Martin, and our final ties have vanished. So definitely showing you how far we're going in this series. It's pretty crazy to think about. That next year is going to be our 10th overall year between UT Martin and Coach Carter's Fordham tenure as well, because we had 6 years at UT Martin and we had 3 more here. Crazy to think that we're already 10 years into this legacy mode starting next year. Well, guys, season 3 was a roller coaster ride, but one I will definitely remember. I never thought we'd make it this far, but everything just clicked there at the conference tournament time, and Fordham really looked the part for the first time in the series. In year 1, we went 6-20. 2 years later, March Madness birth, taking Michigan State and Tom Izzo to triple overtime. I know I kind of mismanaged the game there at the end. I know I should have fouled, just make it a 3-point game. Maybe we tie it up, maybe we don't. It would have been better than the look we got at the end of the game. I think I mismanaged that for sure, so don't be afraid to light me up in the comments for that one. But at the end of the day, you win some, you lose some in those situations. And I'm very happy with the thriller that we got. 3 overtimes has never been done on this channel, and I was so happy that you guys joined me for the ride. So the next time you see me, we will be hopping into Season 3's off-season video. Definitely one of my favorite times of the series, whenever we really see the team change and shapeshift, especially around Coach Carter's recruiting, as we're going to be bringing in a bunch of new faces next year to replace the 5 seniors we have graduating. This has been the most turnover we've seen in either series so far. We're going to be a lot younger next year, but hopefully we'll be oozing with potential. So stay tuned for that. Here on the College Hoops 2K Legacy Mode series, I'm College Sports Survive, signing out. Have a great night, everybody. Stay tuned for more, and I'll see you later.